And let's just get started. I want to welcome each and every one of you to tonight's webinar. We are going to be talking about ASEA redox signaling molecules, and this is a topic that is so near and dear to my heart. It has really changed my life. And first of all, I want to thank you again here for coming, for showing up. And I know, as Dr. Darren says so often, sometimes the hardest thing is to show up. But your being here is a gift. It's a blessing. It truly is. Obviously, something in your heart was tugging at you, or maybe there was someone who invited you to this webinar. Really, my only desire for each and every one of you is to just sit back and listen and enjoy with open ears, and to hear something that's been life-changing for me. And I've watched so many lives change as well through this. I really do feel an obligation to share this with the world. The information is incredible with this scientific breakthrough of redox signaling molecules sustained in a bottle. And I know that it might be yourself, or it might be someone who you love who is suffering with health challenges. And so, my friends, this is for you. So what began as a Zoom gathering with just a few healthcare professionals ended up being, as of last time I checked, over 100 people. And I feel so blessed to be a part of this, because it truly is sweeping the country. We didn't promote this really at all. This is all word of mouth. So you guys were invited here because someone cares about you. And you're meant to be here. Many of you have already been introduced to ASEA redox signaling molecules. And for some who are here, it is brand new, and that's okay. ASEA is a redox signaling molecule replenishment liquid. It consists of trillions of stable, perfectly balanced signaling molecules that are suspended in a pristine saline solution. And they're the same molecules that exist within our bodies. Every single cell of the human body makes these. After the age of 12, our cells make fewer and fewer of these molecules. ASEA is truly the only source to replenish these molecules. It is 100% safe, non-toxic, and there are no contraindications with any prescription medications or supplements of any kind. It is cutting-edge science, and it is available now. It has personally changed my life from the debilitating symptoms of a tick-borne illness, just drastically changed. And I continue to watch people and even their pets who use this product to be the catalyst and the mechanism to allow the body to know what it naturally knows how to do, and that is heal, regenerate, and be whole innately. So here's my story quickly. In the spring of 2016, I was medically diagnosed with a tick-borne illness. In hindsight, this diagnosis now makes a lot of sense to me. The pieces fit together. What I thought was, and told was like depression and anxiety, really was a nasty bacteria that infiltrated my body from a tick bite. My doctor now says 20 years ago, maybe more. My journey into natural health began in 2006. I was desperate to get off the many different prescription medications I was on, and my body felt seemingly out of control. I was very tired of the Western medicine route of adding just one more medication, and I could no longer live this way. My body was just very toxic, and the pills were not even effective anymore. So one by one, I aligned myself with natural health practitioners who offered valuable assistance. Then in 2012, I met Dr. Darren Weissman, who is our guest and co-host presenter this evening. He introduced me to an amazing technology that he himself is the developer of, called the LifeLine Technique. I grew exponentially through that time, and I still am. It has been a time of deep personal development, really connecting the dots from my head to my heart. I've taken just a deep transformative dive into my own being and my own purpose. In the LifeLine, learning how to set an intention, harmonize the body, and move forward with infinite love and gratitude is a daily practice that I use, and I use it no matter the symptoms and stress. Dr. Darren will be sharing just a little bit more about that soon, but I'm so grateful that he came into my life then with this life-saving LifeLine technology, and of course I still am. But my focus here tonight is to share a story about redox molecules. Back in March of 2016, It was a warm, sunny day in Wisconsin here where I live. I took our dog Journey for a walk on the road, and I only had the strength to take one dog. We had 4 at the time. But I was so excited in my heart that I was excited for spring to come and for a new life that I had ahead of me. It was really that day that I realized that I was no longer depressed, but that my body was speaking very loudly to me with a deep physical ache all over. It felt like my blood hurt everywhere. I couldn't even complete our walk. I was in so much pain. It was just excruciating. I knew there was something much deeper going on, much deeper than depression. And months later, I actually had a vision of needing a wheelchair in my life. In August of 2016, I was introduced to an incredible product containing redox signaling molecules called ASEA. And it was Dr. Darren Weissman, who had heard a testimony from Scott Lavallee with the same tick-borne illness. He had experienced an amazing transformation in a very short period of time. And Dr. Darren heard this and thought of me. I'm so grateful for that. Shared with me a 1-month supply with hopes that it would make a difference. And boy, did it ever. On day 6 of me taking ASEA, I woke up with energy and I had very little pain. It was so refreshing. It was amazing. It was a feeling like I hadn't had in years. Later that day, I literally got a message from God that said, go ride your bike. And I went like, what? I hadn't worked out in months, and I used to be so very active. I really had to check in, and God told me, just trust, just go. So I did. And I went 6 miles that day on my bike. And of course, being the skeptic and very scientifically oriented that I was, I thought this must just be a fluke. Maybe it's just a good day. How could it last, right? I told my husband, if this happens tomorrow, I'll know this is real. And sure enough, the next morning I woke up again and I felt incredible. And that afternoon, I challenged myself and went 11 miles on my bike. Yes, I was sore, but I knew that I had found something. And it was after that that I hooked back up with Dr. Darren and I said, what is this? And I shared with him my story. So tonight, we're here to learn more about this breakthrough product. And I can tell you, since this miraculous transformation, I really have felt a deep moral obligation to share the health of these molecules with people I come into contact with. So let me introduce my beautiful friend, Dr. Darren Weissman. He is a chiropractic holistic physician, developer of the LifeLine Technique, and best-selling author of the books The Power of Infinite Love and Gratitude, Awakening to the Secret Code of Your Mind, The Heart of the Matter, and a children's book called The Daily Lessons of Infinite Love and Gratitude. Based upon his expertise of the subconscious mind and holistic health, Dr. Darren is an international speaker in the field of consciousness and has been featured in several natural health documentary films, such as the movie Emotion and the most recently released hit documentary Heal. If you guys have Netflix, I encourage you to go check it out. It's on there and it's a great watch. Based upon his life work and research, Dr. Darren developed the LifeLine Technique in 2002. Since then, he established the LifeLine Center along with several online educational course programs. He also maintains an international workshop and lecture schedule teaching the LifeLine via e-learning and live courses. He is devoted to personal development with a collective vision of creating world peace through inner peace. The LifeLine Technique draws students from all over the world, where there are now over 800 certified LifeLine practitioners in 24 countries, and I'm honored and grateful to say I'm one of them. Dr. Darren's passion is teaching people how to intentionally change the reactive emotional programs of the subconscious mind, and as a natural byproduct, clients directly enhance their bodies and their relationships' natural potential to heal. Dr. Darren lives in Chicago with his wife, Sarit, and 3 children, and soon they will be going on an adventure across the country and the world. On a personal note, Dr. Darren's courage and his presence in my life has not caused 1, but 2 life-changing transformations for me, the LifeLine Technique and ASEA Redox Signaling molecules. Yes, I have had to do the work and show up for myself, but I can tell you that I would not be here today without the amazing energy, incredible patience, and support from Dr. Darren. So Dr. Darren, we are all excited to learn more about redox. So take it away, my friend. Oh, there you go. Now you're unmuted.
Well, thank you, Ellen. Infinite love and gratitude to you for your courage and sharing from your heart and your passion so that other people can also know what's possible. I am infinitely grateful to share this webinar stage with people all around the world that are eager and curious. Thank you for showing up, everyone. You know, this was inspired, this webinar, because people wanted to know how I share this product with clients, and would I be open to educating practitioners about the science of it, my own experience of it, and how I go about sharing with clients. And I said, absolutely. And as Ellen said, it was supposed to be this intimate group, and now it's turned into 100 plus. And so I'm very excited. More the merrier. Let's create a big difference in the world. So here's the thing. I've been in practice for 26 years. As Ellen shared my biography as far as, you know, what I'm doing for a living, when I found out about ASEA, when I found out about redox signaling molecules, I was in no place looking for anything else to add to my plate. Nothing at all whatsoever. But I have a really great friend that I've known for almost 20 years. Her name is Ahuva Simone, and unfortunately she's having a hard time getting on this webinar. She sent me like 8 texts about it. Maybe she's on right now. I hope she is. But Ahuva, are you in Beloved and Gratitude? I just want to say thank you, Ahuva, for sharing, because Ahuva shared with me that someone that she loves very much had mutations in their cells, in their blood, and as a result of using this product had amazing results. And because of her relationship with me and respect of what I do, and she wanted to get my feedback on it. So she sent me a bunch of information, videos, written things, as well as 4 of these bottles and 2 big tubes of this concoction. I never read anything. I never watched anything. I'm grateful that I love Ahuva. I just started using it. And on the 3rd day of using it, I had something happen. And very similar to Ellen, for me, I noticed a light switch go on. And I felt clear and focused and present. And the reality is I was already feeling clear, present, and focused. So I didn't know that a light switch was going to be brighter as a result. So 3 days on, I noticed that. I noticed that I started remembering my dreams, and that I woke up like energized, like get out of bed and start my day. I started noticing a difference in my exercise program, that I had deeper resilience in certain postures of yoga, where usually I'm talking really negatively to myself, going, when is triangle pose going to be over? I can't handle 1 more second. Please, please, please. And I'm like, whoa, Darren, you're breathing naturally and you're stretching high and low and your legs parallel to the ground. So I noticed that like there's something different. And then something happened. My wife and I are getting ready in the bathroom. And she, as you can tell, it's easy to see my head. So she notices on the back of my head that I've got this unique kind of mole. And she goes, you got to go to a dermatologist. You got to get that cut out. There's something going on there. And I'm like, huh. I'm like, that's not my first line. I have nothing against that line, but that's not my first line of doing things for myself. So I'm like, let's see if this stuff that Ahuva sent me, let's see if it helps. So I put it on morning and evening, and in 2 weeks, it completely resorbed. And at that point, my love, my wife, my friend, my business partner, but not my patient, not my client, my wife, when she wants something, she just says, hey, will you do something with me? But she starts stealing my stash, and she starts using the product, and she starts noticing that she suffered with fatigue, highs and lows, and just really struggling. And she started noticing, wow, energy leveled off. And so as a result of this, I, as Ellen said, I saw a testimonial And this is like a year using these products of a gentleman with a tick-borne disease. And I love the clients that I work with. And if I can do anything to make a difference, and I saw Ellen suffering and struggling, and I bought her a case because this is a direct marketing company, and I'm not in an egotistical way, but just to express it. And I'm a best-selling author and I teach around the world, and I've got too much to lose to be a part of something that potentially could be bogus. And so I didn't sell it to her. I bought it for her. And she was my defining moment. And from that moment, I realized, wow, I need to share this with people. And since then, I've shared it with thousands. And the impact that it's had has been nothing short of an epic miracle. It's grateful. I've never witnessed a product like this. And so here's the thing. I am going to share my screen. I want to educate each and every one of you in a simple form what this is. And at the end, answer some questions. Ellen's going to ask me some questions. I'll answer any other questions you might have and go from there. And, I really hope that this is something that if you're struggling with in your health and your well-being, that you're able to hear this and understand the value, because at this point in my life, besides the LifeLine Technique, have not found a natural type of product that makes a difference like this beautiful product does. So I am going to share my screen, and first and foremost, welcome to Optimal Health and Wellness. Our journey tonight is to empower our own body's natural ability to heal, create resilience, and to live a thriving life. Who's looking forward to that? Give me one of these if you're looking forward to that, right? We are going to talk about how to support, if you are a practitioner, if you are a doctor or someone who works with clients, how do you support patients, clients to reverse the damaging consequences of stress? Right. We're going to step on into empowering others through self-care, how to keep things simple. Things are so complicated in our world today. And wow, how valuable would it be to have a simple way, a simple practice for enhancing cellular health, natural ability to heal, regenerate. I'm going to talk about the cellular perspective of how healing, or on the opposite standpoint, how disease occurs within the body. And then we're going to talk and reveal the scientific breakthrough into optimal health, anti-aging, deeper athletic resilience, recovery, as well as glowing, vibrant, young skin. Who does not want glowing, vibrant, young skin? Come on. And then we'll have some Q&A. So that's our journey. And before I show this picture, my wife a couple years ago, 2016, slipped on the ice with keys in her palm. The keys got lodged in her palm. She's a crazy woman. She gave natural birth to our middle child at home. And so this woman can handle life. She is a powerful goddess. And this key got plunged in. She attempted to rip it out. She couldn't. Ugh. And if you don't like seeing kind of gross things, close your eyes for this one, because this is a bit gross. This is a key in her palm at Highland Park Hospital. I was asking for prayers. The doctor gave antibiotics and pain pills. She took one antibiotic. She forgot to take the rest. We're just not pill poppers in our house. She didn't need one painkiller. She was told to see a specialist. She was going to have damage in the palm. All I did was flush it with the Redox, ASEA, and the Renew 28. And in 5 days, it healed. We had just moved into a new house, and she was fully active. She was fully active, never needed to see the specialist. Picture's worth 1,000 words. Now, here's an interesting picture. One of the things that people don't talk about is hair. And people go, wow, what does it do for hair? I used to have blue hair. And through taking ASEA, I'm kidding, it does not change hair color. But if you look at underneath my left eye, look at this. Look at this. I've had 4 of these change on my body. I had one back here, I had one back here, I had one over here, and I had one on my arm. Completely resorb. If you look at my face, it isn't there anymore. What did I do? Renew. So fascinating. My light bulb moment was the beautiful Ellen Welk being blessed by God to say, go for a bike ride. Oh my goodness. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. So here we are, and we've got this thing called stress. We've got this thing called stress in life. Does anybody here have any stress in your life? You know, there's different kinds of stress. So there's emotional stress and mental stress, the patterns of thinking, the experiences in our life, the memories, the future catastrophic way of thinking, you know, in life. There's biochemical stress. There's environmental toxins and pollutants, right? There's spiritual stress. There's all kinds of stress, but stress has consequences. Stress has consequences, and 43% of all adults suffer adverse health effects from stress. High percentage of human beings. 75 to 90% of every doctor office visit are for stress-related ailments and complaints. Stress directly influences our immune system, our hormonal balance, digestion, as well as impacts our foolish genetic expression. The emotions that you feel in any given moment switch on or off your genes. If you are in a place of gratitude or if you're in a place of victimhood, that is affecting your genetic expression. That's why I love the LifeLine, because I teach people how to process deep-rooted emotions that are buried in our subconscious. There's other tools that help besides that. OSHA declared stress a hazard of the workplace. Stress costs American industry more than $300 billion annually. Wow, how might it impact individuals' lives, economy, if we had a natural, effective, reproducible way for influencing stress? So one of the neat things about it, because a common word in our linguistics today is PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. You know, yesterday, Notre Dame burnt down. Like, what an outrageous thing that this has occurred. There are incidences of trauma, loss that people go through in their lives. And one of the things that I love about life is life shows us how resilient we are. It shows us how resilient we are. And then when we are able to move through stress, post-traumatic stress turns into post-traumatic growth. We become the next greatest version of ourselves. And our bodies are built in the same way. So our body, in a year-long process, is designed to heal, regenerate. You are already whole. Red blood cells rebuild themselves every 128 days. Skin cells replace themselves every 28 days. Lung cells, bones, our genetics, every 2 months. Every cell is designed to do this. So we want to talk about, well, why do I continue on with this inflammatory challenge in this joint, in my gut? How come this pattern continues on? And what can I do about it? Because I know I'm designed to heal and regenerate. So here's this amazing product called the ASEA Redox. And it is 10 to 15 years ahead of its time. 10 to 15 years ahead of its time. It's cutting edge technology. It's a new category of science. And what was thought to be impossible is now possible. You know that in 1998, a small group of scientists from Italy won the Nobel Prize for discovering redox signaling molecules in their true function. And since then, the race was on to see who could produce these cell signaling molecules and stabilize them outside of the body. And I'm going to share with you the company that did what was thought to be impossible. So it really is the single greatest health science breakthrough of our lifetime. So sometimes it's easier to express what something is by saying what it isn't. So it's not a vitamin, it's not a mineral, it's not an antioxidant, it's not an exotic juice. It goes beyond any nutrition and any ingredients that you take. You know, I find the greatest thing that people could ever do is stay hydrated, eat consciously, get rest, move your body, and love yourself, right? That is the key to life. It is. But sometimes we need a little bit more. But this is not a vitamin, a mineral, an antioxidant. This is not a micronutrient, right? This is something so much more. The way that ASEA impacts us is on the deepest cellular level. And it is a cell signaling supplement. So our body is composed of 50 plus trillion cells. Let's take a moment just to think about that. Like you right now, here we are, we're participating in this webinar. How fun. Thank you for being here. This is so cool, right? And meanwhile, you got 50 plus trillion cells that are all networking right now. And you might have just breathed in some kind of bacteria or fungus or pathogen, and your immune system is taking care of it. You might have had dinner or breakfast based upon where you are, and your stomach is producing acid to break down proteins, and your liver's detoxifying something that happened because of, hey, maybe you had a martini or whatever it might be. Your body is doing all these intricate functions, and it requires cell signaling. It requires cell signaling. Now, sometimes in our body, we have a fire. That fire is called inflammation. So inflammation is anything that has the four letters itis, gastritis, colitis, esophagitis, epididymitis. Doesn't matter what you want to call it. As soon as it has that four-letter word, we know that it's a fire. It's an inflammation. There's flames in the body. Well, if you had flames in your house, then you would grab your cell phone and you'd pray for a good signal to call the fire department to come on over and put out the fire, because this is where we live. This is what's most valuable to us, right? Our greatest wealth, more than our home, is our health. And so when we're looking to get the fire department over, what we're really looking for is to have the vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, essential fatty acids, the exercise, the food that we're doing. I'm doing all these things to help my body heal. But meanwhile, my metabolism is still slow. My digestion is still slow. I still have this skin conversation. I still have this chronic pain, this decreased range of motion. I can't get down and play with my loved ones, my grandchildren, you know, whatever it might be. When the cell signal, our cellular signal, is a low signal, then the nutrients and the great things that we're doing don't get to the burning house. Doesn't get to the liver, doesn't get to the colon, doesn't get to the neck, doesn't get to the disc, doesn't get to the blood. And here we are, and the house burns down. ASEA Redox is the only supplement in the world to provide the body with resources that are so critical for cell signaling. It allows the body to achieve its full health and healing potential by making sure that the body knows, hey, produce that stomach acid to break down the protein. Hey, you know, liver, we got some hormones here, break them down. Colon, peristalsis, move over, Rover. We got to make a bowel movement right now because we got more coming on in. This is cell signaling. Every dis-ease, heart disease, has to do with heart cells. Liver disease has to do with liver cells. Cell signaling is the fundamental key to life. So the redox discovery, what's neat about these molecules, they're not only natural, they're native. What do I mean by that? The body produces them, so it knows exactly what to do with them. Where vitamin C is natural, but it's not native. My body's not producing vitamin C, right? So what's unique about this is the body produces it on its own. So here's an image of a cell. And inside of a cell are all these little parts. They're called organelles, mini organs. These organelles, one of them is called the mitochondria. And it's the energy producer of all living cells. So that could be an animal, a plant, a human being. Anything that's alive that has a cell has mitochondria. And that mitochondria produces what's called ATP, energy. Okay? And the mitochondria not only produces ATP energy, but because there's salt water in the cell, the mitochondria use the salt water to produce redox signaling molecules. And these redox signaling molecules enable cells to communicate and therefore do what the body is designed to do. This is a real science. There's over 15,000 peer-reviewed articles, 1,200 books published. Redox signaling molecules are involved in virtually every major body system and function of who you are. James Watson, the co-discoverer of DNA, the double helix, he's still alive. In his research, his greatest research, he says, more than discovering the double helix of DNA, the most important thing that I'm studying is redox signaling molecules. And he has come to the conclusion that the 4 major diseases of redox, dementia, cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. You know, that's his research. Amazing. So key to cellular rejuvenation, renewal, foundation to healthy cell signaling throughout the body, redox molecules produced in the mitochondria of every cell of your body. So here's the thing. Anybody aging? We all do. Anybody have a perfect diet? I don't have a perfect diet. I have a birthday coming up. I'm gonna have birthday cake. Come on, right? Work hard, play hard, have a balance. Anybody have any stress in their life? We already know the consequences of stress. You know, the world that we live in, plastics, our air, our water, it's a polluted environment. And with age and stress and toxicity, what happens is the redox signaling molecules, they become imbalanced and they become deficient. And when the mitochondria, because of age and diet, stress, toxicity, the mitochondria are not capable of then producing balanced, efficient redox molecules. And then the cells can't function as efficiently. And the whole cellular networking of trillions of cells, guess what happens? It becomes slow and sluggish. And we begin to see and feel the visible effects of aging and living on this planet. So it was thought to be able to replenish our cells would be the ultimate breakthrough. And the thing about it is why it was so difficult to produce these molecules is these molecules, as soon as they're produced in the mitochondria, they're so reactive. They're so reactive. So as soon as they get produced, they get used up. So due to this highly reactive and fleeting nature of the molecules, science thought that it would be impossible to stabilize the molecules outside of the body. And then what's in front of impossible, get rid of I am, is possible, and the possible happen. After 2 decades, millions of dollars of research, heavily patented technology, a team of scientists led by an atomic medical physicist achieved the impossible. I got to meet this man, Gary Samuelson. He is a beautiful humanitarian. He deserves the Nobel Prize. I'm sure one day he will receive it. Epic human being, heart of gold, wants to make a difference and is making a huge difference. Through their team, they created and stabilized redox signaling molecules outside of the body. Super cool. And they used a 3-step process. And here's how they started. They started with pristine salt water. Do you remember the image of the cell, what's inside of the cell? Salt water. So just like the mitochondria use salt water to produce the redox signaling molecules, these really smart scientists start with pristine salt water. Then they take that salt water and they break it apart. What makes up salt water? Sodium, chloride, hydrogen, and oxygen. They break it apart, and then they use this cool quantum technology called nanotechnology. You don't have to understand it for it to work. It works whether you understand it or not. It works with children, even animals. We use it with all 3 of our children and with our cat and dog, and it helps them be their optimal, vibrant selves. It's amazing. As a result of using nanotechnology, what's so beautiful is the atoms restructure into stabilized redox signaling molecules, and now you have this breakthrough scientific experience where people can use it all around the world. And now it's in 34 countries around the world. It's amazing. It's amazing. So from the inside out, we've got a liquid that we drink. From the outside in, we've got a gel that's transdermal and it absorbs through the skin. I've had so many people that struggle with hormonal imbalances that require medications, and through the guidance of their medical practitioner and prescribing physician, I've helped so many people get off medications that they were told that they would need to take for their life just by rubbing the gel over this region of the body. Anyone who knows the anatomy then knows what I'm talking about. ASEA is the only company in the world where you can get this powerful redox technology. And there's a company, a laboratory called BioAgilytix. BioAgilytix is hired by pharmaceutical companies so that if you take a pharmaceutical, BioAgilytix says, what's in this is in this. So you know it's real. BioAgilytix evaluates the Renew 28 and the ASEA Redox to make sure that what you're drinking and what you're putting into your skin actually contains redox signaling molecules. It is certified. It is 100% safe. It is 0% toxic. This cannot hurt you at all. People that are using medication, people that are of any age, you can use this. It is 100% safe. All kinds of research that they've done to show this. So I want to talk about something because I brought up the concept of James Watson and the discoverer of DNA, and people live in our world right now. And like my wife just brought home this 23andMe, and we're going to check our ancestry based upon our DNA, our genes, right? You can do this for so many different things these days. It is the cutting edge. Genes contain the blueprint of our health and so much more. So as a result of environment and poisons and stress and aging, what happens is, like a light switch, our genes get switched off. And the genetic potential of how our cells function is directly impacted. Every cell is designed to heal and regenerate. When a cell's done doing its job, it goes through a process called phagocytosis, where it's supposed to break down and then be replenished with a new cell in the bone marrow. It just naturally does this. It's a genetic program. When we're under environmental stress, toxicity, aging, mitochondria aren't able to produce redox signaling molecules, our genes switch off. And here we are in a world, whether it be yourself or whether it be patients or clients that you work with. These days, 50 million Americans suffer from autoimmune disease. Think about who you know in your life that has autoimmune disease. 54 million people suffer with inflammatory conditions. Their houses are burning down. More than their house, their bodies. 1 in 3 deaths in America, cardiovascular disease. What a statistic. 50% of the US population suffer from some digestive challenge. 80% of women suffer from some kind of hormonal imbalance. So ASEA regulates healthy gene expression. I want to say that again. ASEA Redox regulates healthy gene expression. They did a research where they gave 4 ounces of ASEA Redox to times per day for 8 weeks. And after 8 weeks, every single one of the people that used the 4 ounces twice a day had all 5 genetic markers that they were evaluating positively switched on to 31%. All 5 genetic markers. After 8 weeks, on a genetic level, they switched on. The people that took saline, the salt water, what ASEA is before it starts, or did nothing, their genetic markers did not change at all. The question that's a good question to ask right now is, hey, Dr. D, what genetic markers switched on? Immune system, inflammation, cardiovascular, digestion, and hormone. After 8 weeks, 4 ounces twice a day. So one of these genes that they evaluated also influences 15 other additional pathways in the body. And if we look at them, one of them influences insulin, which is blood sugar, thyroid stimulating hormone, metabolism, redox molecules influence antioxidant health, the ability to break down free radicals, what cause cellular damage. Cellular damage, also known as oxidative stress, is the #1 health risk factor. And there's one pathway in this one gene that was evaluated called the NRF2 pathway. And it's critical for the production and the activation of what's called our master antioxidants, what's called glutathione and superoxide dismutase. What's amazing in another research that they did, previous to ASEA redox study, is without taking glutathione, nothing was taken. There was an 800% increase in the production of the master antioxidant glutathione and superoxide dismutase. Profound, profound. Lowers oxidized LDL, cholesterol conversations, oxidized DNA, our cell's ability to regenerate. So I don't know if you've ever read any of the books by Ann Louise Gittleman. She's written close to 30 books. She's a first lady of nutrition. ASEA, in my humble estimation, greatest advance in lifestyle medicine. Harnesses the power of the own body to keep you well. Here's the gentleman who is behind the stabilization and production of redox, and that's Dr. Gary Samuelson, biologist and atomic medical physicist. This technology has the potential to spearhead the greatest advances in health we've ever seen. I agree wholeheartedly with both of them. There are hundreds of medical professionals using this. I've shared this with so many of my friends and colleagues that are using this around the world. Thousands upon thousands of lives are being changed. I had a message today from a woman who was in a really horrific bike accident. She was injured, needed to have pins put in, and she just wrote me a message saying, Dr. Darren, I am so excited. I've had so many surgeries. This has directly influenced my health, my well-being, and I want to share this with other people. She is a PhD, and she's so excited. I just got that message today, and I'm so excited to connect with her and share with her how to share this with more people, because people need to know about this. It is the most significant health science breakthrough of our time. So one of the things, and I talked about my own yoga practice. I love yoga. I love Pilates. I love martial arts. And this product directly influences our performance, our endurance, our recovery, our mental stamina. I take a shot before I work out. I take a shot after. And my resilience during and my recovery after is epic. And here's the cool part. There's so many professional athletes using it because there's no banned substances in it. So it's 100% safe. You know, it's such a unique world where professional athletes are in. There was a study with mice who were drinking ASEA, and for only 7 days. And as a result, they ran 29% further to exhaustion. Little guys really gave it their heart. Infinite love and gratitude to the beautiful mice of the world. So here's some pictures of some very cool people that are using this in the professional realm, making a difference in their own lives and inspiring us to know what's possible as far as the leading edge of potential that exists within us to be resilient creators of our life and manifestors. Now, there's also a look from the outside in, redox signaling molecules looking at the skin. Our skin, as I talked about at the beginning, how the body replenishes itself, it regenerates every year. Skin regenerates every 28 days. So I, on April 24th, am turning 51 years young. And over time, redox signaling molecules decline. And what happens is the youthful essence of our skin is directly impacted. And it's said that by the age of 50, the renewal process can take up to 90 days, And as a result, this influences fine lines and wrinkles and blemishes. My skin has never felt better. I used to get razor burn when I would shave and get this horrible, ugly inflammation. And it just does not happen anymore because it puts the fire out. So we begin to see the visible effects. It enhances the cellular renewal process. So there's been multiple clinical studies using the gel. And when it comes to skin cell renewal, after 4 weeks, only 16% skin cell renewal. Smoothness of the skin improved by 23%. Wrinkles decreased by 23%. Elasticity improved by 20%. Blood flow increased by 50% in just 4 days. In 4 days. Hey, question. What happens when blood flows to an area? Blood's carrying oxygen and nutrients, carrying away waste products. I can read your minds. You're saying the body heals faster when blood flows. You're right. You're right. So how beautiful that after 4 days, 50% increase in blood flow by applying transdermally over knees and ankles, low back, parts of the body, liver, abdomen. I want to share something. When people have like chronic types of pain or decreased range of motion, I recommend what's called 3 in 5. 3 in 5 means 3 applications within 5 minutes. Saturate it, concentrate it in a short amount of time, and the change is epic. It's powerful. So got a bum shoulder or a particular area of your body, 3 in 5, do that a couple times a day, and it really enhances the body to do what it's naturally designed. I like seeing pictures. Before and afters are very interesting to appreciate elasticity and fine lines that go on in our body, certain blemishes that show up in parts of our body, people that struggle, with different kinds of skin challenges. As we look at different parts of the body that we can use this, we can start to appreciate the nature of, wow, this is going on outside? I wonder what's happening inside. Right? Isn't that the question? Isn't that the question? So, cellulite, 16% improvement, parents of cellulite. Coolest part of seeing is believing. Seeing is believing. I shared this with so many people with skin. I love having this to be able to share with people. So, they have a whole different cleansing program, cleansing, repairing, replenishing. It's all incredible technology and product and makes it really beautiful, beautiful skin. And beautiful skin is healthy skin. And, it's an outer expression of our innermost self. So it's advanced anti-aging technology. And it enables us to heal from the inside out and activate cellular communication. Inside out, outside in. So that is, hold on a second, my little talk as far as explaining these beautiful, miraculous molecules, how I use them on a certain level. But Ellen's got some fun questions, and I think you're going to enjoy our banter.
Yeah.
So, Ellen, I'm ready for you, sister love.
And I actually have a couple of other questions as well from the audience, but let's just start here. One of the questions is, I hear all the time people asking, will it help with this skin issue or this disease, or will it help my breathing, etc. I would love for Dr. Darren to expand some on this. If it has a cell, it will help.
Truth. That's the answer. If it has a cell, it will help. So I said it a little bit already, but I want to reiterate what I said. It doesn't really matter the name of the disease and even the prognosis, because this is not about treating disease. This is about creating cellular communication. Let's think about that for a second. This is about creating cellular communication. If your cells can talk, then they can get across what they need to get across. Like if you can hear me right now, if you can hear me, then you're going to get very important information that will have a value for you, and you'll be grateful for it. So heart disease has to do with heart cells. I had a guy who came on in, really young guy, very active, plays tennis, and all of a sudden he was having a really big challenge with breathing. Went to the doctor and they did evaluation. They don't know why it happened, but the alveoli in his lungs, which are the cells that absorb oxygen and get rid of carbon dioxide, they got eaten out. They got eaten out. And they don't know why, but they're like, they gave him medication to help, but there's nothing that they can do. And so I recommended to use the ASEA, use the Renew, rub it over certain areas of the body. But I also said, get yourself a nebulizer and breathe it in. And he lives on the 3rd floor of a condo area. And so he'd have to stop 1st floor because he couldn't breathe. 2nd floor before he got to the 3rd floor. And he's a young guy and just hard time breathing. Consistent using the nebulizer. We did LifeLine, of course. Raise consciousness, process emotions, right? Emotions are powerful. But about 2 months ago, he came on in, he gave me a high five, and he said, Dr. Darren, guess what I did today? I ran up all 3 stairs. I ran up all 3 flights. It made me cry. I was so grateful. It made me cry. I was so grateful. So application of this can be used and is used very effectively in so many different ways. For the beautiful vanity of having gorgeous skin, to rubbing it over the ears and knowing that the ears are filled with acupuncture points, that when you rub it on your ears, guess what you're stimulating? Parts of the brain, the cranial nerves. Rubbing it on the neck, the base of the skull, rubbing it on the feet. You know, there's to enhance detoxification. So there's so many applications, and whatever it is, whether someone's optimally healthy and they're at the leading edge of their game, or someone who is in the throes of chronic degenerative disease, its use is effective, valid, valuable, and number 1, safe. Safe. And there's a protocol that I guide people through. I'm happy to talk about that as well, because there's no cookie cutter approach to anyone, and we want to find the sweet spot. When you find the sweet spot, people can be skeptical all they want. Oh, why are you paying for expensive salt water? It's not expensive salt water. You can't drink salt water and live. Can't put salt water in your eyes and have it soothe your eyes. Put salt water in your eyes, it's going to burn your eyes. This is redox signaling molecules. It's a real science. So the application is far and wide. People that have mutated cells in the cervix can use a douche as an application. You can breathe it in. You can put it in your eyes. There's so many different components of application that are safe and effective, right?
Beautiful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a few more questions here. Here's a really good one. How can we respond to people that say I can get it cheaper on Amazon?
Yeah, that's a fascinating one. You know what? Check this out. This is a direct marketing company. What does that mean? There's no middleman. Why did they do that? Because this brilliant, gorgeous, gratitude-filled heart man named Vertus Norton was on the board of directors. He was asked to be on the board of directors of this pharmaceutical company to help them raise some money. I'm going to make this short but poignant. Ended up realizing, wow, they don't realize what they have, and this is a real product. He bought the product. He started doing his own research with the product. He used to be the CEO of marketing of Kraft Foods, multi-billion-dollar company. He had retired from there and made plenty of money. It wasn't about money, but he was having fun and wanted to make a difference. He started to do his own research, started with 40 people, ended up going to 100 people in 20 countries around the world, and he was approached by a big pharma company who came on in with scientists and doing research, asking questions. At the end of the day, they offered him big money. And the big money that they offered him was generational wealth, but he would have to stop doing his own research. And once he realized the impact that was happening, he couldn't. But then he's just like, how he was talking to his advisors, the company that the people that he bought the company were helping to lead it. He goes, how are we going to do this? We live in Salt Lake City. We're selling salt water, and it tastes like you're drinking swimming pool water. How the heck are we going to share this product? And they thought the only way that's really going to be effective is if it's mouth to mouth, if it's person to person. Somebody explaining their experience that then creates a validity for it, a value for it. So there are all kinds of people in the world, and infinite love and gratitude to that. And where you see it, such as on Amazon or different things like that, where it might be inexpensive, what I found is oftentimes people steal other people's credit cards, and they steal other people's credit cards and they sell it for less because they stole it. Other times people get it and it's out of its expiration date. So one is you're either supporting someone who is a criminal, or you're getting product that doesn't have the stabilized redox molecules because it's outside of its, its expiration date. If you're going to use this, talk to the person who shared it with you, ask them questions, learn how to use it properly, understand it for your own health, your own well-being, and then go from there. So you can get it in other places, but that's because there's bogus things that are happening in the world.
Beautiful. Thank you. Another question here. Why is it important for people that have had chronic issues for years to commit to 120 days or more with ASEA?
Oh, that is a great question. Sometimes, like, I noticed it 3 days. You noticed it 6 days, right? And so sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. And if it's going to, because what might be your priority as far as whatever disease, whatever thing that you would like to heal, what might be your priority might not be your body's cellular priority. And your system's going to go above, down, inside out. It's going to go through its own reversal process. And so I always tell people, short or long-term use of this is going to cure skepticism. Use this consistently. Be committed. Don't mess around. Don't I'll do it in my own way. Stop it. Stop it. Just use it right. Use it effectively, and 120 days would be minimal. The reality of, for the body to show a pathological process, it must be broken down 40+%. So oftentimes people go to their doctor and they've got diarrhea, they've got headaches, they've got low energy, they have anxiety, they've got, immune types of challenges where they're getting colds and different things like that. And the doctors do all kinds of evaluations, and everything's within normal limits. You're not outside the normal limits. Hey, take this pill for that symptom, this pill for that symptom, that pill for that pill. And people are in this spiral of chasing their tails and biting them. The body must be broken down 40+% to show a pathological disease functionally. So, if you have been given a disease name in your body, you're talking almost 50% of your body has had a functional breakdown going on. Be cool with yourself and give yourself a break to go for it and to support yourself. because it will help. And the key here is you've got to play until you find it. Might be 2 ounces twice a day, might be 4 ounces twice a day. I had an experience where a year ago I had surgery on my abdomen for a umbilical hernia that I had for 10 years. And I didn't want to get mesh in my body. And so instead, I found a doctor in New York that did a unique kind of process called Schuldeis. I flew out to New York. I live in Chicago. 3 months before the surgery, I drank 1 bottle every day. A month before, I was drinking 2 bottles every day. A month after, I drank 2 bottles every day. And for 2 more months after, now I drink about a half a bottle a day. But guess what happened? 12 days after surgery, massive on my abdomen, I was in an Inferno hot Pilates class and I did the entire class. I didn't do my burpees, right? The 13th day, guess what I did? A full hour of Bikram yoga. I wasn't able to bend back as far, but I did it. Cellular renewal. It's so cool. So, commit yourself. 90 to 120 days, you deserve at least that, but once you find the sweet spot, and we know at 4 ounces twice a day, at 8 weeks, you've got 5 genetic markers that are positively being switched on by 21 to 31%. The reality is, if they would have evaluated 25 genetic markers, guess what would have happened? They all would have been switched on. They only evaluated 5. But they evaluated 5 big ones.
Yeah. Awesome. Great. Amazing answer to that. Thank you. I've got another one here. How should we respond to people's questions about starting ASEA that are on pharmaceuticals and, for example, have conditions such as high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetics, or with open wounds or on blood thinners?
Yeah, get on it. Get on it. Get on it. Start using it. It's 100% safe. It's 0% toxic. Start using it. I really struggled with high blood pressure for a long time. I use it every day. So the reality is that it cannot hurt you. It's 100% safe. It's non-toxic. Show it to your doctor. Your doctor be like, oh, it's salt water. They'll have no idea. And maybe your doctor will understand about redox molecules, but maybe they won't. Maybe they won't, because it's a breakthrough technology. But if they looked it up, they'd find in 1998, a group of scientists from Italy won the Nobel Prize about it. This company stabilized them and produced them outside of the body. So whether it be like, oh man, there's salt in there, I got high blood pressure. You know what? Are you okay eating a couple carrots a day? It has the same amount of salt as that. Very low sodium content. The body itself can go through, if the body's been shut down for a long time, it's kind of like not emptying out your garbage. Like Tuesday's garbage day in our neighborhood. And so we put our garbage out at the street. But if we in the Weissman household did not put our garbage out for 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week, oh my God, 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years, 3 decades. Oh my God, this house is going to start to stink. It's going to be really bad. So sometimes when the cells start to communicate, people aren't drinking enough water. Please drink enough water. 1 quart for 50 pounds, 1 liter for every 25 kilograms. Please drink enough water. The cells will start to let go of the toxins. They're going to start to empty it, and that goes into the bloodstream and the lymph. So move your body and hydrate, but stay consistent. If you need to slow down the amount because you're detoxing, like it's just too much because you've had so much toxicity, then slow down, but keep moving forward. Don't stop. Slow down, but keep moving forward, and drink more water and give yourself love. Be loving. Look in the mirror and say, I love you. I love you. I'm so grateful that I found this great technology. I'm so grateful that people care enough to share. Love and gratitude. Do that. It makes a difference. You won't know until you actually do. The greatest healer is love, and love in action is gratitude. And when you're grateful, it means you've already accomplished it. So be grateful for even being in this place where like you're struggling and you're stuck physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. Be grateful. It's the great alchemist. Combine that with redox molecules. Here's something cool. I'm ranting, but I want to do this because it's so important. You create a frequency in your mind becomes the greatest tool for healing. If you do not know how to create frequencies for your mind will be a tormentor, and you will be stricken and ruled by negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, catastrophic kinds of outcomes in your mind. So you want to create a vibration, a practice of thinking and feeling, speaking and behaving with love and gratitude, with infinite love and gratitude. You create that frequency, and then you've got antennas on your cells because you're utilizing redox molecules. Now your cells can broadcast this frequency. That is delicious.
It is great.
That's the best medicine.
It is. It truly is. The body knows how to heal, regenerate, and be whole.
It does.
So we've got a couple more questions here. And one of them is from Shoshana. Shoshana, are you able to chat with us? I just unmuted you, I think, or maybe you got it. We're doing a little dance here. Are you there?
Okay, yeah, I'm here. Hey, how are you guys?
Hi, Shoshana. Great to see you again.
Good to see you, Dr. D. And I think I'll see you soon in June, which is exciting.
Yeah.
I wanted to know for chiropractors or reflexologists or naturopaths, people in the healing world, how can they best use it in their practices? How can they best introduce it to their patients? And do they have anything, I already know the answer to this, but do they have anything to be scared of in terms of introducing it to children?
So first and foremost, I am confident in sharing this with everyone here on a global level because I've had a personal experience. So start by using this consistently in a committed way for yourself so that you can understand, get educated about it, use it properly. Then you'll know what we're talking about here, right? Once you reach that point where you get it from the inside out, because once you feel it, there's no turning back, then the essence of sharing this with clients is simple. Or patients, it's simple because anyone struggling with anything, anything that's going on in a person's body requires cellular communication. As a doctor, when I hear that somebody has been diagnosed with an inflammatory type of disease or a mutation type of disease or a hormonal imbalance or sleep disturbance, I immediately have a conversation that I can have with people. So I personally, based upon getting to know people and understand where they're at, I explain to them what this is. I ask them, are you open to being educated about this? I have 9.9 out of 10 people say, yes, I am. I send them some videos. I first explain to them my experience so that they understand that this isn't just something that I'm just doing. I explain my own personal experience so they know it's personal for me. And then I send them some videos so that they can understand the basic science and understand and see the before and after, some pictures of Renew. And I might even add them to a particular Facebook page where they give testimonials of this beautiful product. And then I write to them, hey, if this resonates with you, I'll be happy to help you to use it and order it properly. And either I have somebody in my office or myself will do this, and people love it. And I explain to them that it's a direct marketing company and I'm not looking to get them on a direct marketing team. There's no obligation to buy or sell any product at all. There's zero obligation. And I've come to know the integrity of the people that run this company and the integrity of the science. And I've actually come to understand the integrity of the business. And I believe in it wholeheartedly. And so I always lead with people having health as the primary usage of it. But oftentimes, like today, the woman who had this injury and also has had challenges with autoimmune challenges in the past, sent me an email and she wants to know how to share it. People do this. And as a result, I then share with them how to go about doing this because I understand the value of that being a hard-working physician and teacher in the world. So I lead in this way, and it's of complete integrity because I know it from the inside out. As far as children, I have 3, 14, 12, and 10. They all use it, and I recommend it to kids all the time. It's 100% non-toxic. It's 100% safe. So great question.
Yeah, thank you, Shoshana. And I might add too, like when I first began taking the ASEA, my husband was like, what? And I needed a double dose. I needed to start with the 4 and 4 a day. So that's 8 ounces a day. And he looked at me and he rolled his eyes. And he's like, where are we going to get this money from? And I said, you know what? This is just so incredible. I feel so different. Please just give me a couple months. Let's just step into this. And I knew I wanted to share it. We naturally raise golden retrievers. I wanted to share this with the puppy families that I work with naturally. It just has been a beautiful thing. So I'm so grateful that I did. And really, I just feel, like I said, morally obligated to share it. You go to a movie, a good movie, and you share it, right? Warner Brothers doesn't give you a commission back for that. You go to a restaurant, you recommend it. If it's good, you recommend it to your friends. So this is really a beautiful system of natural word of mouth. Look, we had so many people on tonight. It's just incredible. So it's powerful and it's real. So with that said, we've got a few more questions here, Dr. Darren. Joanne, are you still on here? Let me see. You had a question in the audience and I have it, but I'd love for you to answer it. Joanne, excuse me, I'm going to unmute you. Joanne, are you there?
I'm here.
Hi, welcome.
Hi.
Would you like to ask your question to Dr. Darren?
Sure. Okay. Can you see me too, or what?
We can
I see a picture of you.
Okay. Hi.
Picture.
You know, I don't know, but this might be it. That's why I wrote it to privately. So I have a situation where somebody's using the ASEA and loving it. She had her thyroid removed. Here, let me see. She had her thyroid removed. There we go. She had her thyroid removed, and she's forgetting to take her thyroid medications. She says she has loads of energy, and she said that she's going to die if she doesn't take them. I intuitively, I'm a musician. I'm not a doctor. I'm intuitively feel like, well, if her body's telling her that she's healthier, is it true that we have to continue with certain medications if we've had an organ removed?
I would have that person talk to their medical doctor and have them evaluated to know where they're at. And only under the guidance of a prescribing physician do you ever go on or off medication. Never on intuition, never just on gut. You do this intelligently because that has the potential to really be a harmful thing. So I would never, ever recommend someone to go on or off medication without being guided by a prescribing physician. And they will evaluate certain markers, and based upon that, they can tell you. I've had many people as a result of using this product and then under the guidance of their prescribing doctor, go down and go off certain medications.
So exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's wonderful, but it's important to be intelligent about it and rather than renegade. Great question.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for that answer. Thank you. And I keep telling you to put it here.
Smart move.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. What else?
Okay, great. Arvin.
Yeah, because I see Arvin wrote,
Yep.
Is there any advocate process being initiated to make the products FDA evaluated and approved? First and foremost, the facility in Utah is an FDA approved facility. How they go about in the production and distribution of the product throughout the world is an FDA approved facility. Anything that is a supplement is not FDA approved. So as soon as it's FDA approved, guess what it is? It's a pharmaceutical. This is not a pharmaceutical. We do not claim, I'm going to make this claim right now, ASEA and Renew do not claim to heal, cure, diagnose anything or anyone ever. This is a cellular replenishing product. It enhances cellular communication. The body is a miracle, and it's designed to heal, regenerate, be whole. We must take responsibility for our own health. We must understand that there are basics to health: hydration, using food as medicine, resting is when we restore, moving our body, moving our mind, owning our power, expressing our emotions. These are essential. And ASEA enables you, as you're doing all kinds of great things for yourself to support yourself in this crazy journey called life. It enables cells to communicate and do what they're designed to do. And I want to say this. Here's a healthy cell. It produces 2 new healthy cells. 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, right? Here's an unhealthy cell. We're designed to regenerate. An unhealthy cell produces 2 new unhealthy cells. 4, 8, 16, 32, okay? When our mitochondria are producing redox signaling molecules, then it's able to go, hey, look at that cell over there. It's damaged. Repair it or replace it. Age, toxicity, diet, stress, environment, mitochondria aren't producing it. We don't recognize those damaged cells. They start to just go rogue on us. There was another research done on a concept called apoptosis. That means programmed cell death. And it showed with ASEA stimulates apoptosis. Cells are supposed to know when they're supposed to die. When a cell doesn't know when it's supposed to die, it goes on and on and on. And that is a unique experience that way too many people that we love and care for are going through in their lives. And ASEA has been shown through research study to stimulate apoptosis. So profound. Thank you for that question, Arvind.
Yeah, we've got a question here from Ryan, who asks, if ASEA can impact a gene that affects insulin and thus blood sugar, would a diabetic patient not have to monitor and potentially change the dosage of their drugs?
Yeah. Yeah. Be in tune with it.
Yeah.
Be in tune. Absolutely. Great question. Be in tune with your numbers. Be in tune. You get on this, we're having cellular communication. Be on top of your game. Be on top of your game, you know, because things are going to start to change. And here you are and doing an insulin shot or taking some kind of medication, and now we get a blood sugar low. So, and that's just because of not being a conscious individual and taking responsibility for your health. And so we got to start to do that. It's very important.
And then there was 3 questions from one person, and I typed them. I put them in on the bottom there, Dr. Darren, for you to see. But one is, I'd like to see safety toxicity studies, and how many years is the longest study? And then, is Dr. Watson using ASEA?
I don't know. I'm not personal friends with him, but I'd like to share it with him. There are safety studies, and Ellen can send them to you or post them somewhere. And I don't know how long the longest study was, but I know that there are studies showing safety for it.
And I do know, to that last question about Dr. Watson, Dr. Gary Samuelson and Dr. Watson are good friends. So I heard in an interview from Dr. Gary Samuelson that he knows Dr. Watson. So that's about all I can say. But chances are he does know about ASEA. We'll see.
Cool.
None of our business, but
great question.
Probably out there.
Cool.
Does anybody else have any? I think I covered mainly the main ones here. Anyone else has any questions? Speak now. We want to respect your time and close this very soon. I'm not seeing anything more happening. So, Dr. Darren, it's been just incredible again for you to share the health.
I want to share one more thing.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to share one more thing.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. We talked about a lot of things tonight or today, wherever you are in the world. And we become aware of something that creates awareness on a cellular level. And as a result, influences organs, glands, systems of our body, all the way to the genomic level. And this was initially inspired to educate practitioners, doctors, right? Those of you that are doctors that are on this, begin with yourself. Give yourself 90 to 120 days and use it. Here's what I recommend. Start with 2 ounces twice a day. Put it in your mouth, swish it around for 50 to 45 seconds. Swish it around, get the mucosal membranes. It will influence any kind of microorganisms in the mouth. It begins to, the systemic disease oftentimes starts in the mouth. Swish it around, swallow it down, just not within 5 minutes of anything else. 2 ounces twice a day for 1 week, go up to 4 ounces twice a day after that. That way you ramp up, okay? Make sure you're properly hydrated, okay? Very simple. Don't drink it out of a metal container, either out of plastic or glass. Morning and evening, be consistent. Hydrate, hydrate. Gel, everyone, shake it before you use it, right? Shake it before you use it. Rub it on your face, rub it on your ears, rub it on your neck, right? Rub it on your neck, Joanne, right over here. Rub it over the base of your skull. Morning and evening, right? You got areas where you're having challenges, athlete's foot, you got a wart, different things like that. Use it over those areas, right? Use it over areas that are painful, 3 and 5. Morning and evening, be consistent, 90 to 120 days. Before you make a decision about this. Do not close your mind or your heart to this technology. Don't. I'm just telling you. Use it for yourself. And from there, if you're like, this is crap, then that's the decision that you made. But you got any questions, reach out. We're here to support. I feel so grateful that I've had this time to share something that I'm very passionate about and very inspired to share with as many people as possible. And if it made a positive difference for you, then we've had a great time together. So I hope it has. And I want to thank Ellen for being an incredible hostess with the mostest in holding the space and sending out all the information and making this happen, because it's a lot to do. But whoever introduced this to you, reach out to them, say, I want to use this product. How do I go about buying it? Don't buy it retail. Either do it preferred or as an associate. As the reality, do it as an associate, pay your $40, get a discounted package that you can only get on your first time, and get it on auto ship. You'll end up getting free products. There's an art to it, there's a science to it, and it's really important that you understand that so that you can do this right. So that's my 2 cents. Thank you, Ellen.
Beautiful. Thank you, Dr. Darren, and thank you everyone for being on tonight. It's been just an honor and a privilege, and I hope that this night has been really beneficial. And if you have any questions, please reach out to any of us, okay? So I'm just going to close now and say infinite love and gratitude to each of you.
Love and gratitude.
Love and gratitude, Dr. Darren. Good night.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.